Hey everyone, it's me, Eric Kimball. I'm out here in the Minibed experimental garden on this May 20th morning, and I just want to shoot a quick video and show you a couple of things. First of all, we have the garlic mini beds doing very well. You can see a whole row of them there, and you can see that the cover crop, the rye cover crops, are growing in the mini beds, and that's what I want to focus on in this video, is how I'm going to deal with taking the rye off of these beds this year. Now there's a nice mini bed of rye, nice and full. It's almost up to my knees. We'll pivot around over here. I'll show you what I'm doing, and that is to simply pull the rye plants when the soil is moist, of course, which makes it easier. And you just grab a few, bang the dirt against the side here, and this is what I end up with, which is going to be mulch for another bed. I'll get down here and show you this. I lay it in the walkway. It can dry down a little before I use it, or I can go lay it in the beds like that. Now this is an option instead of undercutting the crowns, which I've done in the past. Very easy to just come in here when the soil is moist and pull and shake off the soil. Not all of it, but enough that, you know, most of it's off, and set it over in the walkway. The reason that I grow the rye in the mini beds is to get the incredible root mass that rye makes down in there. And when I pull these, I'm not pulling all the roots. There's a huge network of rye roots down in this soil. You can almost hear the roots ripping. Yes, there you can see a lot of root mass all through the soil, and that's what I want. Once the top is pulled, the roots stay in the soil and they provide organic matter for the soil microbiology to feed on, and that's what we want. We want that microbiology, the microherd, to be well fed and active. Even though I'm pulling this instead of undercutting it with a sharp hoe, the objective is still achieved. There's still plenty of root mass down there, and this top growth will be used in another mini bed for mulch, and I'll show you that, but you get the idea. And you can pull the cover crop out of this mini bed pretty quickly. Use the sides of the mini bed to slap the soil off. Here you can see that I've cleaned out that whole mini bed of the rye, pulling it a little bit at a time, throwing it off to the side. Very easy to do, much easier than undercutting. And I have lifted the frame off and flipped it over so that it ages evenly. You know, the damp bottom is on top and it'll dry off. I do that whenever I work a bed. So that bed is ready to plant. So triple curled parsley planted on March 9th. That was over 2 months ago. I put the seeds here in the soil and they sprouted in their own time. I planted 5 hills in here, 5 little bunches of seeds, and they've sprouted very nicely. I've cultivated this with my pocket cultivator, and over here is the rye top growth that I harvested, and it's a good time now to get this bed mulched. And all I'm going to do is just lay that rye right in there like that, and I've got lots of it here. It'll dry down very nicely. If I get this mulched well now, I won't have to worry about this bed. Now I will thin these parsley plants to some degree. Once they get a little bit bigger, I'll thin it to 2 or 3 plants per spot, and this bed will grow and it'll be just like a bush, a bed bush of parsley. Anyway, it's that easy. No rows here. just the spaced 5 spaces, that's ideal for parsley. I've come to the conclusion. Chard also, I have chard next to this. 5 hills in a mini bed. And yeah, so that's it. I won't belabor the point. You get the idea. Before I end the video, I want to show you this mini bed of spinach, which I showed in a previous video, planting with the 5x7 planting stick. And you can see this is space spinach planted on March 9th. And you can see that it's up very nicely. Not every spot has spinach growing in it. I think there's 4 spots where the seeds didn't germinate, even though I put multiple seeds in. But we're off to a great start here. It's a very nice looking mini bed nevertheless. So one more mini bed follow up on a previous video. This is the spring blush snap peas that I planted with the 13 spot template. You can see that I have mulched with rye at a previous time, not today, but it has died down. And the peas are growing very well. These germinated exceptionally well, and they're starting to grab onto the tomato cage that I put there. They're going to create quite a bush, again, a bush of peas. And that's nice to see. I did thin these. I had such good germination of this pea that I thinned here a week or so ago down to just 2 plants per spot. And we'll get a lot of peas off of that planting.